Our business is drone deer recovery. What we do is we use a drone coupled with a thermal camera along with a 200 times zoom camera to help hunters find lost game. Basically, if a hunter hits a deer and they can't find it with the normal tracking method, they would hire us to come out and find their deer for them. That's what we do. We started it because I was going through a bad time in my life where I had a business where I messed up my back doing residential tree removal, and I started drinking and I became an alcoholic in my own terms. I was down. One night I was sitting on the floor of our living room. I was like, why am I doing this? I started praying to the Lord and I'm like, give me something new, something that motivates me, something that drives me to go do, crazy things again and just work, because I was kind of burned out with my other business. That's how the whole thing got started, is me praying to the Lord, like, give me something new, and talking with him. I think it's all sent from the Lord for sure. And then the name, Drone Deer Recovery, that took me a little bit to get, and I was still like praying like, hey, what should this name be? Because first I started it off as just Yoder Drone Service, and I made a video about it, took it to an outdoor show, and the sportsman's feedback was just crazy. I still wasn't convinced on that name and went on a vacation out west and was praying, and then one day it was just like clear, Drone Deer Recovery. And I was like, that's it, that's the name. From that day on, I was like, that's it, it's Drone Deer Recovery, and I feel the Lord put that in my mind, and that's why we are where we are. And it's been great because I quit drinking and I got something that really motivates me, drives me, it's new, it's exciting. And so we're going up from here.
Our business started out in offering a service, and then over time it's kind of transformed into selling equipment and providing training. Now we're the foremost leader in this new industry, and a lot of our energy and focus and goes not in just setting up other people with a similar business as what we started, but in also helping legislation change in a bunch of states where it is yet not clear or just straight up prohibited. We've completely shifted from where we were at about 15 months ago when Mike started doing this.
Yeah.
Or Mike walked into a coffee shop where I was sitting after a really difficult 9-month period in a business venture that didn't work, and it was the week after officially decided shutting it down, and Mike walked in kind of with this new idea and dream, and
I was excited and fired up. And Kevin is not. He's like sitting back there and he's like, man, this is bad. And I'm like, hey Kevin, I got this crazy idea. Like, it's gonna be crazy big.
Yeah, I was pretty slow to get into anything. I was like, I'm not doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah, like I basically approached you that day. Like, we didn't even really know each other that well. When I started the service, I knew I like creating content, entertainment. I was a cameraman and a producer in the field producer for Whitetail Adrenaline, a big video production company that's been around for 15 years. But when I started the service, I was like, I'm going to provide a service, but then I'm also going to create content around it because it's never been done before on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And so when I started the service and then started the content is really what skyrocketed the whole business, is because we were getting pushed out to millions of people that were seeing this technology for the first time. I'm always asking the Lord, Holy Spirit, like, give me wisdom, direction, just to make the right decisions for the company.
I think another way that we're a kingdom-focused business, or that we kind of make that a priority, is we have, I think, what's a God story and how we got started, and we try to share that, especially now that we have somewhat of a following and somewhat of influence. I've been with Mike, when he's a guest on some of the biggest podcasts in the hunting space. It's uncommon to say a word of thanks before you eat. It's uncommon not to curse every other word in some of the groups where we get to hang out. And I think just being different in those environments, it is one of the ways that we're a kingdom-focused business, I think.
We're trying to prepare ourselves for the growth in the industry, because the growth in the industry of drones, according to certain blogs and stuff that you read, they're saying it's going to be a compound of interest in the drone space of 35% up to 2030. And if that is the case, I mean, we grew so rapidly. We've sold so many drones, like without even really like pushing it hard. How are we preparing ourselves for that is to build a team to help with customer service, to buy drones and to train people and get organized.
I think so far we've just been playing catch up, right? That's something that's been frustrating for both of us is we're not yet at the point where we have the people and the organization and the teams and the processes that we need to be able to really, do things the easy way, the well-structured way.
Yeah.
And we're at the point now where we get to forecast into the future, and it's a little bit challenging to know, do we forecast the same extreme growth that we've had?
Yeah. I mean, because it does seem crazy to think, like, if we've sold 200 drones, like thinking already, are we guaranteed to sell 200 drones next year? To me, because I've never done it, it's like, Kevin, does this make sense?
And then we have a whole new, couple new product lines coming out. And so the two greatest fears that I probably have in thinking about prepping for tomorrow is I won't have the people, the teams, and the organization that we need to provide the kind of service that is so important for us to provide, or that I'll have so many people and so many teams and absolutely no sales. And in a seasonal business like ours, with as new as we are, we're 15 months old, it is a challenge to know how to structure and build overhead, and we're bursting at the seams.
The challenges we face almost daily is legal issues with states saying if it's legal to use a thermal drone to help a hunter recover a carcass. The way the Lord helps us through that is to, pray to him, ask for direction. Like, should we keep pushing this issue? It's like, absolutely. Like, we should.
There's so many growing pains and challenges abound. It's really frustrating for us when we don't provide the service that, to a customer who bought a drone, or it's like when we drop the ball, it's the worst feeling ever. And I think we kind of do whatever it takes to go above and beyond and making that right, not just trying to capitalize on a quick buck, but build, hopefully, a relationship over a long period of time.
We had a lot of challenges on having enough inventory because we were growing so fast. We were buying everything across the country we could get our hands on, and then having orders that were, placed, and the challenges of talking to the right people and to get inventory bought. And I mean, you were stressing out about that at one point. That was a huge challenge to get, get drones and figure out how to get them.
We're always investing in figuring out what's going to be the new best drone. Is there something better? Is there better thermal cameras? Is there a new software that unlocks things? For us, our whole industry is changing at the speed of how the first smartphone kind of changed the game from flip phone. So we just have to keep investing, buying, and Mike, goes out, tests equipment, then makes videos on what he finds. So I should also say, always pushing the envelope, figuring out how to better serve, educate, and entertain our audience.
One of the biggest mistakes that we made was structuring our business early into would have been kind of like a franchise, a small franchise. We didn't call it a franchise because of FCC rules. We called it a licensing program where an individual would almost buy in, and then he would look like Drone Deer Recovery. He would have the logo, and he would have the training, and he had the equipment. He had all this stuff that was like Drone Deer Recovery. And then later figuring out as the season got rolling that that's the wrong program. We just did not have enough pilots.
One of the foundations of that program was that we were doing an educated guess at if I licensed one person in Harrisburg, then I wouldn't license anyone else within 50 miles of them. And so we had all of these other people saying, hey, I want to get into this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And we'd be like, sorry.
Yeah, we limited it for some reason, 5 people per state.
Yeah.
And that was just not right because certain states are way bigger than others.
And then with states sending us cease and desist and threatening legal action. And a lot of our time, Mike, was spent, instead of doing what we loved, creating content, creating education, it was managing, 30 some licensed operators who all had different opinions about
what to charge,
pricing, their situations were different. And during the season, we just looked at each other one day and we said, we built the wrong thing.
Yep.
From a Friday afternoon to a Tuesday morning, we tore down our entire existing business model.
Yep. We gave all the folks that wanted
back.
their money back. We basically was $120,000 or $130,000, and we were like, we're gonna be broke. Like, the company will be broke, but it was worth it, right? We invested a lot of money into them. We lost money.
Yeah.
We lost money in the deal, but that it felt right to give their money back.
Yeah, that has been a key to our success, I think, is realizing when we made a mistake and then just acting on it as quickly as possible, not waiting until the end of that season. You live and you learn, and we survived.
Yep.
So.
I would say to encourage you folks watching this is, if you have an idea and you are passionate about it and you truly feel in your heart that that's what you're supposed to do, just stay around like-minded individuals that will motivate you even in the hard times, because it's like there's going to be people like that say, how's that ever gonna work, or good luck with that. It's like, no, like, just get yourself around people that will support your dreams or whatever it is that you're wanting to pursue, because some of them are pretty crazy. Like, if somebody would have told me like 15 months ago, hey, I'm gonna do drones full time and make a living at it, that it would have been pretty ridiculous. It's because we've never seen it done, but now we see other people doing it, like the people we've gotten into it that are flying just thermal drones in the deer recovery space and making a good bit of money doing it. And it's like, that's probably my biggest thing to you guys, is to surround yourself. Make those connections. You're gonna have to go find those people that can motivate you and are business minded and are like will support and feed into you to keep chasing your business dreams.
It's crazy to think that Amish background, Mennonite background, like, we're leading a technological industry. And I think I would echo what you said. What I would leave with you guys is, if you have a dream, and regardless if people believe in it or not, pursue it, go do it. And we've seen like God's leading and God's blessing, and there has been an abundant amount of challenges, but the story that's being written is really amazing. Mike started this. There were far more people telling him it'll never work, it's not legal, you can't do it, the government's gonna, that was far more of what you were hearing than, oh, you've got the next great idea, go do it.
Yeah, according to the social media platforms. Yeah. They were like, this is not legal, you can't do that. And then you'd speak to government agencies. One agency tells you, nope, can't do it, illegal, and then the next will tell you it is, and it's like, oh my gosh. Like,
and it's because it's never been done.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no law for it. So how do we figure out if it's legal? So I think God has given Mike a dream, and Mike has brought people around him that help him walk into that dream, fulfill that dream, and it's part of what we keep doing, keep growing the team. I think that is the essence of
having a team of people.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah.
For sure, if you're growing the thing to be big. Like, you can, as a one-person operation, you can only do so much. All right, that's all we got for you folks. Thanks so much for watching us. I bless you guys. Go out there and just chase your dreams. That's what I tell you to do.
Yeah, so regardless of what you're getting out of this conference, hopefully our story is somewhat inspirational to you. It's not that we're amazing. It's that we took a risk and stepped into God's leading, and really hope that there's something in your life where you get to do the same.